Welcome back and hi guys. Today we're doing something a little different. We're stepping away from glass and doing something a little more arts and crafts wise. I have this knife here that needs a home, so today we're going to be making it a sheath so that it can be carried around without damaging anyone. This is the template we're going to be using today. We're going to be cleaning it up, making it a little nicer, and we'll see how it goes. We're over at the workbench now. This is all I could think of that I'm going to need to do this. We're going to start with this empty sour cream container. We can take off the lid and get rid of it. We're not going to use that right now. So I'm going to take this over to the Dremel and try to cut this out. I've tried it with knives before, and the edge doesn't turn out very nice. So I'm going to try it with the Dremel and hope that it comes out a little cleaner. Alright, so to cut this, I'm going to be using a metal cutoff disc from my Dremel. Let me show you real quick. Just this little attachment. So these are designed to cut metal, but I find that they work fairly well for plastic. If you're going to do it this way, I would suggest getting like safety glasses at minimum. I'm going to be using my face shield because it throws kind of molten plastic around. So that's one thing so that you'd know. And this isn't, if you want, you could try it with a knife. I'm not patient enough to do it, so yeah, just kind of mess around with it, try it with a knife. You might be better at it than I am, and it doesn't even have to be that pretty. We're just trying to get a section that we can cut a sheath out of. So I'm going to get started on this, and then we'll move to the next step. And this is what you're left with if you do it that way. This is why I opted to wearing a full face mask. All those white specks is plastic that was thrown at my face. So yeah, I would definitely, if you're doing it this way, wear something like this that protects your whole face. But the edge is actually comes out pretty nice. Got some plastic that you just run your finger on it and they fall right off. I'm going to do the other side and then come back, and then we can move on to the next. Alright, now we're back at the workbench. I just cut this out. You can see with what we're left with. That's kind of what we're going for. I do want to point out that's probably not the safest way to do it. And it's kind of difficult because you saw that I had my fingers in there, and I could have hit the tip of my fingers with the Dremel. But then on the other hand, like, you know, you can cut yourself with a knife. I got a pretty nice cut there from working with knives too. So it's really, you just have to be careful when you're doing stuff like this. But this is generally what we're looking for. And then the next step from here isn't getting a sheet, which is as easy. The way I tend to do it is just folding it in a spot like that, and then you can take a knife and just kind of run it, and then you end up with a nice sheet. And this will give you a pretty nice sheath with no problem. You see, this is kind of what we're going to lay this out. mark it, and cut it out. So I'm going to rearrange the camera so I can actually fit in this area. I'm filming by myself today, so that's why things are a little weird. Alright, I got this clamped down to the table so I don't have to deal with it trying to disappear on me. So now we got to figure out how this is going to land on here. We got kind of a curved shape, which is going to be interesting for getting a straight piece of plastic cut out of this, but we'll see what we can do. So it looks like that will work right there. So I'm going to hold this down and trace around the edge. And if you guys, if you mess up while trying to mark this, denatured alcohol and a rag. I've already had a couple of mess ups, so I don't know how the video is going to turn out, but it works pretty well. I can tell you from experience. And this marking doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to come in and clean it all up. You do want it to be close, but we need something to work off of. We're not looking for perfect. Okay, that's pretty close. The belt loop part of this one is very not straight. So I'm going to get the length that I need off of this belt loop. I'm going to mark it, and that will tell me how long it needs to be. But I need to kind of sketch. I need to actually sketch it out so it's straight. So I'm going to lay this down here. This is a much fancier ruler than you need, but it works, so it's getting used. Lay that down there, make a mark. Hey, it's sliding. Stay put there. There you go. Look at that. And then we come in with the second line. We need to make sure that we give it enough room so that we can get it all clamped together and stuff, but that should be enough. Just like that. And then we do a real quick zoop. Finish off this back end here. And that's about what I'm going to go for, with a lot of cleanup in between. So now for this part, I do use a knife. I use this little guy in here. I'm saying use like I've done this 1,000 times. This is probably my third one. So we'll cut this out. Probably going to run into a problem there, but we'll see how it works. Cut the tip out. Just like that. And then we'll come back here. Clamp this down again so we don't have to worry about it sliding. And I'm doing really rough cuts because I found that a belt sander does really good on fine cleanup. So we'll actually get to the lines later. This is just removing some of the material so we don't have to deal with removing all this. Whoop, I'm out of frame. Looky there. Ta-da! Yay! I don't know how much that was out of frame, sorry, but it was. Last cut, just like that. And that's the majority for that. Alright, that's gonna have to be the end of this video. So, thanks for coming and hanging out. If you didn't, I hope you hit that dislike button on your way out. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, we're gonna, do what all meme lords tell us to do. And that's slap the dislike button right on the right side of the face. Kick the unsubscribe button right side of the face. And don't forget to drink water, stay inside, and wash your hands. We'll see you in the next video.